Let's get ready to deck the halls, trim the tree, create a stunning mantel garland, make enchanting winter displays and wreaths, and of course, we'll be doing several DIYs. Last week, we created a stunning fireplace mantel garland in my family room. Today, we are going to up that elegant factor in my bedroom and create a glamorous fireplace mantel garland. We are going to start off with a long pine garland, which are wrapped in a string of Christmas lights. We are going to hang this garland asymmetrically. I was inspired by the garland that we put on the bench last week in the foyer. I love the way this garland draped down the side of the bench. So we are going to use that design as our fireplace mantel inspiration. To hang my garland, I got 2 command hooks and I put one on each side of the top of the fireplace mantel. I wrapped a thin floral wire around the garland, then twisted it around the command hook. I draped the garland so it descended all the way to the floor on one side, dipped in the middle, and left a small segment of garland on the far side. Every glamorous garland needs some sparkle. I have these strands of gold beads. I took the largest strand of gold beads, attached it to the upper corner, draped it 1/3 of the way across the garland, then draped it all the way back up to the far side. To hold these strands of beads in place, I am simply taking one of the branches from the garland and I'm wrapping it around the bead. This attaches everything together and you don't need to use any extra wire. Next, I took another strand of gold beads. These beads are a little bit smaller and I did the exact same thing. Then I repeated the process with the second and third strands of gold beads. The large beads are from my thrift store and the smaller beads are from Target. So each strand of beads was very affordable. These gold beads look like we put an elegant necklace on our garland. The color scheme this year for my Christmas decorations is blue and white. And the way that I'm getting a lot of that color infused into my designs is through ribbon. I purchased a whole bunch of ribbon at Hobby Lobby, which is where I purchased this Merry Christmas ribbon. I tied this ribbon into bows and then I placed them over the areas that were attached to the gold beads. This ribbon is a great way to introduce the color scheme into the garland, but it also hides the mechanics of how the beads are attached to the garland. I placed some large white poinsettias underneath the Christmas bows. Then I filled my garland with branches of white leaves, frosted sage leaves, gold berries, blueberries, and a few stems of frosty branches. Next, I added some snowflake ornaments in a variety of colors and sizes. I have gold snowflakes and white snowflakes. These range in sizes from small to large. I found these gorgeous icicle snowflakes at Ross. They came in a box of 6 and they were only $4.99, which is a great deal. I'm going to take these icicle ornaments and place them underneath the garland. I love the icy wintry elegance that these ornaments add. For a little more sparkle, I have some gold gems. I purchased these ornaments at Target. To hang them, I got some fishing line, threaded it through the hole on the gem, and then attached it to my garland. I also added a few more gold ornaments throughout the garland to fill any vacant spaces and make the garland look bountiful. The final embellishment that we are going to be adding to our garland are these Dollar Tree terrariums. And we are going to fill them with some of this Walmart frosty snow. So what I'm going to do is get my terrarium and a handful of this frosty snow and place it in the bottom of the terrarium. Then I took a small battery-operated sparkly candle and I placed that in the center. I purchased these candles at Michael's and I just nestled it right inside of the frosty snow. To hang our terrariums on our garland, we are again going to be using that fishing line. I just tied it around the top of the terrarium and then attached it to the garland. I love the way that these terrariums drape down. They look like they are floating. The flicker of the candle is so warm and inviting. The movement makes the garland come alive. This garland looks so magical at night. It is stunning, it's elegant, glamorous, a perfect addition to this fireplace mantle. We went formal in the bedroom because I wanted the space to feel luxurious, and I definitely think we met those expectations. Now that our garland is in place, we are going to decorate the top of the mantle. Now I have a large mirror that's on my mantle. It's going to stay right where it is because this mirror reflects the beautiful light fixture, but it also adds height to this area. I'm going to layer a beautiful wintry print in front of the mirror. This print is from my website and it coordinates with the other prints that are in the other room, these beautiful winter village scenes. I selected this particular painting because of the color scheme. It had those blue and whites in the print, and I knew that it would coordinate beautifully with my color palette. I placed this print in an ornate frame that adds to the lavish design of this mantelscape. I will leave a link to this print in my description box. So now that our print is in place, we are going to move on to the sides. I have some tall mercury gold candlesticks. We are going to embellish them. We're going to add some leaves, berries, and gold gems, as well as a blue and gold ribbon. I took my floral wire and I wired a stem of frosted leaves, a branch of gold berries, and a gem ornament. I wrapped the ribbon around the neck of the candlestick. I took the thin floral wire that attached my botanicals together and I threaded it behind the ribbon. Then I twisted the wire together to hold everything in place. This little bunch of botanicals is the perfect embellishment for this candlestick. It adds some unique interest to the candlestick, but it also ties in with my color scheme because of the blue ribbon. So I placed a candlestick on each side. I purchased these sparkly glass and gold Christmas trees at Target last year. I put 2 on each side of the frame in different sizes, a large and a smaller one. These glass trees add a reflective element, and the gold on the bottom of these trees tie in with the other gold accents. The last decorative item that we are going to be adding to this mantelscape are 3 blue and white ginger jars. Because our garland is asymmetrical, we have a gap on one side. So adding these 3 ginger jars takes up that space, but it also adds some color, which is what we want. The ginger jars also add weight to this side. It's also a unique item that you wouldn't think to put on a fireplace. I cannot tell you how much I love the way that this fireplace mantle looks. It is opulent, it's elegant, it's formal and unique. Creating a distinctive design makes this space feel expensive. Even though we used Dollar Tree terrariums, a whole bunch of items from Target, and a ribbon from Hobby Lobby, we were definitely able to get an expensive look for a reasonable price. I love the look of a potted Christmas tree. I think it's so elegant. So I wanted to create my own this year. The container that I'm using was from Kmart. You guys haven't seen a Kmart in years, but that just tells you how long ago I purchased this container. It was really affordable. I loved the size and the shape. However, the color needs to be changed. So we took it outside and we're going to spray it in some white gloss Rust-Oleum spray paint. I made sure that this container was completely covered in the white spray paint. I painted around the top, the sides, and the bottom. Once it was completely coated in the paint, I let it dry for 1 hour. Already, this container looks 1,000 times better. So what we're gonna do is get a pre-lit Christmas tree, remove the bottom so it just has the pole, and we're gonna put it in this container. To hold it upright, I'm going to get a whole bunch of towels and just jam it in there. Just press it around so it holds the tree upright. Let's trim this tree, starting with a white star at the top. Then I took some white and navy ribbon and I draped it down the height of my tree. I made a few loops with these ribbons, and instead of wiring them to the tree, all I did was get one of the branches and wrap it around the ribbon to hold everything in place. I filled this Christmas tree with the same ornaments that we put on our garland. I have those snowflakes, I have the berries, the leaves, poinsettias. I even cut a few segments of these gold beads and I hung it on the tree. This is a great way to tie these two elements together, and I simply draped these beads over the branches. I loved these terrariums that we hung on the garland so much that I wanted to add a few more to our tree. So I got 5 more terrariums and I tied them to the branches on the tree. Again, I filled them with that frosty snow and battery operated candles. This tree is the perfect addition to this entire scene. I love that when you walk into this room, you see the tree first, then you go past the tree, you see the beautiful garland, and the scene is so elegant. Both of these pieces coordinate well together because we use the same elements on both pieces. The potted tree also adds height to this overall display and makes the area feel grand. Now that this side of the room is completely decorated, we are going to move over to the other side. I have some tall mirrors and they are going to get decked out for Christmas too. We are going to create some wreaths. I'm going to start off with some bottle brush wreaths that I purchased at Five Below. These were only $3, which is a screamin' deal. To decorate these, I'm going to get a stem of the frosted leaves, a stem of white leaves, and a branch of blueberries. I'm going to stack these on top of each other, and then to attach them, I'm going to get some of that floral wire, and I'm going to wrap them together so that they're nice and tight. Then I took these botanical bunches and I wired them to the wreath. In the center of the wreath, I'm going to add a bow. I'm going to get some more of that Merry Christmas ribbon. I simply tied it in a bow and then got a segment of that floral wire, wrapped it around the bow, and then twisted it around the wreath. Here's a quick warning about using these bottle brush wreaths. They are a glitter bomb. I had glitter everywhere, and I even made sure to do this project on top of the plastic bag, but I still had it all over the counter. It was on my hands, it was in my hair. I was sparkling by the time I was done. So make sure that you do this in an area where you can get glitter. So to hang these wreaths on my mirror, what I'm gonna do is get a command hook and I'm gonna place it on top of the mirror. Then I'm gonna get some more of that fishing line because we love fishing line at this point. And I'm gonna wrap it around the wreath and then tie it to the command hook at the top of the mirror. I love the way these wreaths hang down so mysteriously. It's hard to see the fishing line, so they look like they're hovering in front of the mirror. Let's decorate the nightstands on this side of the room. The first thing we're gonna do is get some cloches that I purchased at Target last year. We are going to fill the bottom with some frosty snow and then add a lucite deer that I purchased at Ross inside of the snow. I'm going to put a handful of the frosty snow that we bought at Walmart into the bottom of each cloche. I spread the snow out evenly and patted it down so it blanketed the base of each one. I'm going to place the lucite deer in the center of the base. I wiggled it right into the snow. The faux snow will hold the deer upright and keep them in place. Once the deer were situated, I simply replaced the cloches back over the top. These decorated cloches are elegant and enhance the wintry holiday look of these nightstands. Not only do they add a classy touch, but they were a piece of cake to create. My white ginger jars are also going to get dolled up for the holidays with a blue and gold ribbon. The same ribbon we used on our candlesticks. I wrapped the ribbon around the jar and tied it into a bow. I'm going to drape a crystal ornament in the center. These quick and easy embellishments fancy up these jars nicely. And then lastly, each nightstand gets a bottle brush Christmas tree with large pearl ornaments. These nightstands look so pretty, very elegant, and each of these projects was extremely easy to do. Now let's move on and talk about our bedding. Now typically I like to swap out my bedding for the different holidays and seasons, but I'm going to show you how to get a custom look that's very affordable. What you can do is just swap out your pillows for some decorative pillows. Now we are going to make our own decorative pillow, and what we're going to do is get a pillow covering. Now Hobby Lobby has these pillow coverings. They are so affordable. Now I purchased this 18 by 18 pillow covering for $3.99. I brought it home and it is a little too beige for my bedding, so I'm going to use a pillow covering that I already have. But these are great to use if you want a custom look on a budget. What I'm going to do with my pillow covering is I'm going to create a snowflake to put in the center. I'm using my Cricut Maker. I created a snowflake template. Then I had the Cricut Maker cut it out on navy blue iron-on vinyl. I weeded away the excess vinyl from my snowflake design. Then I placed it in the center of my pillow covering. I got my Easy Press. I heated it up to 330 degrees and set the timer for 30 seconds. I placed it over the top of my vinyl and pressed the start button. Because this decal was so large, I needed to move my Easy Press around 4 times. So once the timer had run up on each of the 30-second segments, I just moved it around to make sure that the entire vinyl decal had been heated up appropriately. Once the vinyl had been infused to the pillow covering, I removed the protective plastic coating from the top. Then I filled my covering with a down pillow insert. Look at how cute this pillow is. It's the centerpiece to my bedding. I just placed it right in the center. This was so easy to create. This pillow is exactly what my bedding needed to coordinate with the other navy blue in this room. I created the snowflake design, so if you want it, you can have it. I will leave a link to this free printable in my description box. So if you don't have a Cricut Maker, what you can do is print off this design on some paper, cut it out, and use it as a template. You could put it over some fabric and cut it out, and then get some fabric glue and glue the fabric to the pillow. So there are ways to get this look without having a Cricut Maker. To go along with my center pillow, what I'm going to do is add a little more color to the pillows in the back. And the way that I'm going to do that is with some more of that ribbon. I wrapped it around these pillows like a present and then tied a bow in the front. I used the same technique on the pillows in my foyer last week. These pillows look like precious little presents, but it's also a clever way to affordably tie in your color scheme and create a custom look. All right, my beautiful friends, we are done decorating my bedroom, and what a beautiful scene we have created. The Christmas garland adds a touch of sophistication and beauty. The tree ties the elegant scene together. The nightstands and the wreath create an enchanting atmosphere, and the pillows tie the color palette together. Even though this room feels very luxurious, we know that we kept our costs as low as we could. I think this proves that we can still live beautifully during this holiday season, but we can definitely do it on a budget. I hope you got some inspiration today or some ideas of how you can incorporate some of these decorating techniques into your own holiday decor. We still have plenty of rooms to decorate in my home, So make sure that you're subscribed so I can share those with you. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for watching.